Alright, in this clip I'm going to show you how to animate your camera while keeping your model always framed at the center. So let's make sure this camera is open here, and I will make sure as well my camera 1 is selected and my green icon is ticked for now. And in this shot I'd like my camera to rotate around my subject. And I will start by going to the frame 1 and try to frame my camera approximately on his right cheek. So I know it could be pretty hard to move cameras inside of Nuke, but don't be too picky because we're going to change all that anyway in a couple of minutes. And we'll come over here and set a key in Translate and set a key in Rotate as well. And now I could go another frame like 80. Let's rotate on the other side of our model and try to frame now his left cheek. So it's pretty rough right now, but we are going to adjust that a little bit later. So now if I scroll on my timeline between these two keyframes, I can see that my camera is going around my model. But it's not perfect at all, and it will require a lot of work to make it perfect, to make sure that the face is always well centered on our frame. Fortunately, if I look at my camera node here, I do have a look input. And this look input could help us to frame our shot properly. I can feed to this look input a 3D position, and the camera will always look at this 3D position. So I could try to connect directly my look to my regio and say, hey, always look at my model. But unfortunately, this input doesn't want to take the regio node here. The look input here will take an axis node. So let's go inside the 3D menu and grab an axis. And now I can connect my look to that axis. And my camera is switching a little bit, of course, because my axis is at the center of the world right now. So now if I'm moving this axis up a little bit, as you can see, my camera is following the axis I'm moving, and I can place it right at the middle of my model's head. You can see that now if I'm playing my shots, the head is always staying at the center of my shot. So now I could adjust my camera position according to that, and maybe I will need to move a little bit my axis if I want my model to be framed higher or lower. So something about that could be right. And now I could do the same here. So this axis will impact where the camera is looking at, but you can still affect a little bit its orientation and position. It doesn't matter. It will just always look at this direction. So as you can see, there is still a lot of work to be done though. Maybe we could add a keyframe in the middle here to make sure this camera is not going too close from him. But the results start to be interesting, and at any time you can click on the play button to see how it plays real time. Alright, so you see this movement is not so bad, and we did that in 3 minutes and a half. But just to make sure that we are all going to work on the same shots, I already exported the camera that we're going to import together to work with. You are totally free if you want to work with your own camera. But if you want to follow along, you can go ahead and in the camera properties, go in the file tab and click on read from file. And here I'm going to look for my shotcam.fbx, which is inside the course material folder under the camera folder. And we have here shotcam.fbx. So just simply click on open, and you can accept to destroy the current animation data. So even if it's an imported camera, it still needs to be connected to the axis node up there. And here is my camera animation. So same here, I stopped the animation of my shots at frame 80. So I will quickly go inside my project settings by typing the S key on my keyboard and scroll down here, and inside frame range I will go from 1 to 80. And now my timeline is changing according to that. So now if I'm playing, you can see that I can loop my shots. Alright, so I'll close my project settings. So right now I'm looking at my 3D viewer, but I can switch to my 2D viewer and make sure your viewer is connected to your skyline render here. And here we are, I can have a look to my render. So we'll just speed up the recording for a moment, just so we can play back all the frame together. Alright, so it's already looking pretty good. As you can see, there's a couple of small issues if we look closer. For example, this, we got a couple of problem in the texture, right? Here as well. And we are going to see in the next clip how to fix these texture issues. So see you there.